What is going on? It's John. It has been a long time, so I thought, hey, I've taken long enough. I need to talk about Centipede Recharge. Centipede Recharge is kind of a just reimagining, if you will, of a classic game called Centipede that was released back in the 1980s, and it was on the Atari. And they also put it was really an arcade game. And I've played the original arcade game with a trackball. Did that a few years ago, and I still think that's the best way to play the game if you can. But if you don't have a giant arcade machine, this is probably your next bet. And Centipede Recharge is just a great game. It's really fun. It's super easy to play. Literally all you do is shoot enemies. You shoot centipedes, you shoot different bugs, you shoot spiders, you shoot fleas, you shoot scorpions, you shoot everything on screen. And your goal is to survive and rack up a high score and yeah, do the best that you can on it. And it's really fun. I have not had this much fun with a game in a long time. I just immediately, when I picked up the game, I picked it up just before Christmas and really enjoyed it and couldn't put it down for probably about 2 hours when I first started initially playing the game. And so it's just a fun treat. This version is a little bit different than the original Centipede in the fact that it's a one and done thing. You die once in arcade mode, you die once in challenge mode, and it's over. And so then you have to retry and re-go for a high score or try to complete an objective. And so that is a little bit jarring when I first started playing because my scores were not very good. And I'm like, wow, I just died and it's over. So there's a lot to manage in this game. There's a lot of things that are happening, but luckily there are power-ups in this game. So when you shoot spiders, you get different power-ups. You'll have rapid fire. You'll have an extra blaster shot. You'll have a giant beam that you shoot out. You'll have things that slow down time. You have all these different power-ups that happen, and you'll see the duration of a pink bar on the side of your screen that will tell you how long the power-up is going to last. That's kind of nice. It gives you a good management skill of when to go for the next spider or when to get out of the way because you know the power-up is going to fade away soon. And so there's a fun strategic element to the power-ups. You may think that they're overpowered, but once you get far enough into the levels and into the game, you're going to realize that you need them because the game gets pretty overwhelming fairly quickly. So what the game offers is you have an arcade mode where you're just trying to get the highest score possible, and that is both in single player and co-op. So you can play the entire game in co-op, so that is really fun. I have not done a whole lot of co-op yet. My brothers watched me play this game a couple times. We have very different work schedules, so we've not found a very good time to play the game together. But I'm just going to tell you that co-op in this game is great. I've only heard good things about it. It only adds to the longevity and the pleasure of the game. So I'm going to tell you that co-op is an absolute bonus and a treat. One of the things that happens in co-op when you do this is if a person dies, you can shoot a spider, and the spider will then occasionally spawn a heart power-up. And when that happens, that allows you to bring your person back in, and you can keep going for a high score and surviving the madness known as Centipede. So that's really fun, and that's cool. What are cons with this game? It's a little repetitive, so if you don't like doing the same thing over and over again, you may not enjoy this game a whole lot. There isn't a lot that it has to offer other than you shoot enemies. And that's kind of just it. It's a high score game. And so if you don't like repetitive tasks, you're probably not going to enjoy this game a whole lot. I think it's great. I think it's really fun. I've had a joy with the game. I think the other thing that can just be a little off-putting is the difficulty for people. There's just a lot that happens. It's a one and done thing. It's like Contra. You get hit once and you die and you learn. And that's just how the game is. And so for a little while, it's a bit of a grind because you have to learn when to use your power-up strategically, when to try to avoid enemies, when to just do certain things at a certain point. And so if you're not willing to grind that out initially, you may not enjoy this game a whole lot. But once you learn the game quickly. Once you get through it in a couple hours, you're going to be like, wow, I get the hang of this game. When I ended up getting the game on Switch, I played through all the challenges within 2 airplane rides. So I had it done in about 4 hours to go through 30 challenges. A little bit of slowdown on the Switch version, but that was also in handheld, and the VCS version has been buttery smooth the whole time. No issues in slowdown. Plays absolutely great, and so that has been really nice. So yeah, Centipede Recharge I think is totally worth picking up. for the price that it has. The achievements are all fairly doable. I think some of them are a little harder if you don't have a friend in co-op, and with the VCS version, trying to beat all the missions in co-op sounds like a chore. I haven't even attempted to do that yet, but as far as the Switch version, I was able to get all of the challenges done literally within just a couple hours, and I haven't done all the challenges yet on the VCS version because the VCS has extra challenges. So they add around 20 extra challenges, some of which are extremely difficult. The last challenge in the game I've not been able to beat just yet. And then there's 2 other challenges which involve you avoiding fleas as they flood the screen. And if you shoot one, it's a game over. and it's really, really hard. So there's a couple challenges I have yet to beat yet. But all in all, I think the game is totally worth the price of admission. If you can pick it up, you should. If you can pick it up on sale, you definitely should. So it's really just kind of depends on what kind of person you are. If you like a arcadey type game that's a little repetitive, that is score attack based, go ahead and check this game out. If you are not big on repetition, maybe check out other reviews, see what you can try to learn for yourself. But again, especially if you get it on sale, you'll pick it up for under $7, and I think that you will be pleasantly surprised, as I was. I ended up picking up the game due to recommendation from some people online, and I thought, well, I like Centipede, so I should probably get this one, and I'm happy that I listened, and I'm happy that I've got it. That is my thoughts on Centipede Recharge, and I hope you enjoy the game as much as I have.